Hey guys, welcome to day 10 of rchelicopterfun.com's flight school. Today's a miserable day for most people. We're doing the nose-in hover. As I mentioned here on my web page, there's three ways to learn the nose-in, but I'm just going to show you the one method of putting the training gear back on and basically starting back at square one, like on day 4 where we're sliding it around on the ground, since most people are comfortable with that. The other two ways, as I mentioned on the web page here, was the high approach and then where you're actually walking around while it's hovering. But I can't do either of those adequately enough with filming because you won't be able to hear me, and the high approach just takes way too long to learn that way. So this is the way most people are comfortable with. Again, we've gone back to the training gear. You probably maybe haven't even taken it off, but if you have, put it back on. And we've gone back to the really tame and docile throttle curve. So if you get into trouble and something happens, you can just kill your throttle and collective. The bird will come down nice and gentle before you get into too much trouble. So we'll just start with a gentle spool up here. And what we're going to start with is the forward, backwards, sideways sliding on the ground. Again, just like day 4. So we'll just get it nice and smooth. Now, one thing I should have mentioned, your tail rotor is going to be opposite as well, but the way I like to think about it is a right tail rotor command always turns the helicopter clockwise. So if you think of that, if you think of it that way, you're not really going to have too much trouble with your tail rotor with nose in. If you just always remember left turns it counterclockwise and right will turn it clockwise, that's a good way to figure out your tail rotor in nose in. Of course, cyclic is completely reversed. Left will take you right, right will take you left. Forward on the stick will move the bird towards you instead of away from you. So let's get it light. We're going to start off by sliding to the right. Right is easier now. If you recall from day 4, left was easier, but that was with the tail pointed in. Now right's easier because the tail is pushing it to the right. Now we bring it back. We're going to need a little more throttle and collective to get it off the ground. Again, we've got some gusty winds, so even the big bird is having a little bit of a hard go. You really want to do this on a calm day. Get going a little too fast, slow down. We'll bring it back over our reference spot. And this is where simulator time is really going to help you too. If you've been able to practice on a sim, definitely that's going to help you with this. Now we'll come forward. So now we're actually pushing the cyclic stick forward to come forward. And if you have to give tail rotor, remember, left turns it counterclockwise, right turns it clockwise. Coming nice forward. Try to get the nose pointed forward again. The wind's behind us now, so it's actually ideal. We've got the sun kind of behind us and the wind. And going back now, I'm actually going to get in the air because I don't recommend going back when you're doing nose in. It's just too easy to damage the tail rotor. So if you have to carry it back, do so. Or if you feel comfortable enough to lift it up, take it back. But when you're first starting out, you probably won't, because it's going to take a long time to get used to these orientation commands that are completely opposite on your cyclic. So once you feel comfortable sliding around, and again, I didn't do the diagonals, but definitely do the diagonals as well. Here we're coming diagonally to the right forward. Yeah, we'll pick it up. We're going to take it back in the air because I don't want to damage the tail rotor. And come to the forward, to the left here, diagonally. Skimming it along, nice and smooth. Again, ground's a little bit too pebbly for my liking. If you had a smaller bird with no wind, might be a little bit easier, but... So we'll get back over the reference spot. And once you feel comfortable doing the sliding around, now we just start bobbing about. Get used to those reverse commands. Drifting left, you're going to have to give right. Drifting right, give left. Now it's windy and gusty, that's why it's bouncing a bit. And once you feel comfortable with that, holding it over that reference spot, this is going to take lots of practice. Again, sim time really helps with nose in. So now that you're able to hold it over the spot in a hover more or less, nice and smooth. Now we're going to do those left and right sideways movements, so we'll go to the right first. Nice and easy because the tail rotor is helping us. About a foot off the ground. If you want to go a little bit higher, that's fine, but again, we've got that nice docile throttle and pitch curve, so if you get into trouble, just kill it, and it'll come down nice and gentle. So I'll bring it back up. If you need a rest, definitely rest. Oh, got caught with a little gust there. Okay, back over our reference spot. Now we'll go to the left. So we're giving right cyclic. And, you know, maybe every now and then give yourself some tail rotor commands just to get used to the tail rotor change. But again, if you think of tail rotor as right turning you clockwise and left turning you counterclockwise, that's a good way that you won't have to deal with the tail rotor reversal when you learn nose in. Okay, so there we did our left and right. Now I'll do some forward here, so we'll come up to us, not too close of course. Oh, a big gust of wind there. But again, you're used to your collective commands, because that hasn't changed. No, it's really getting gusty. I'll go backwards now. Trying to keep it somewhat under control in this wind. And come back over our reference spot. So now that that feels comfortable, oh, and do your diagonals too. I never mentioned that. So we'll go forward, right. Feels good. Lots of wind. Oh, we're having a hard time here. Just miserable. Well, get it over the reference spot. Come forward to the left this time diagonally. Okay. Stay out of the full-size aircraft's way there. He's starting up. And we'll go to the right backwards, nose in. Getting nice and comfortable with that. Coming forward, back over our reference spot. And now we'll go left, backwards. Hold it, coming back. And now that you're comfortable with that, there was a nice gust of wind that caught us. Now we're going to start doing our skinny figure eight from day 6. But instead of turning the nose away from us, we're going to slowly get used to turning it towards us. Now this is going to take a lot of practice, and maybe you might not be able to start off with that right away. You might want to start off by hovering it and get used to the nose turning towards you. So one thing that really helps us is just doing really slow, oh it's so windy, really slow pirouettes here. And that'll really help you learn. It's just mentally exhausting here, learning the command changes as the nose is coming towards you. And one thing you're going to definitely find, if you're really comfortable nose in, you're probably going to find these quarter on nose in views or orientations where it's at a 45-degree angle to you nose in. They can be really difficult to learn. So if you're really having a problem with these 45 nose ins, just really keep practicing them. That's a hard one to learn. At least it was for me. So when you get comfortable with doing pirouettes, and again in both directions, and it's gonna, I know it seems really bouncy, but again we're just dealing with horrendous wind here. but nice and slow pirouettes. So now we'll do our figure 8, and we'll go out, and we'll bring our nose in. Our battery warning, so I'm going to be bringing it in here pretty quick, but just wanted to show you the nose in long skinny figure 8 with the nose pointed in exercise, so you have an idea of what that's all about. I can go a little bit longer here. I've got my battery set to, or my timer set for 80% battery, but I've been known to take it down to 90. Gentle flying like this, I'm not going to overheat the LiPo too much. So that's kind of what day 10 is all about. Again, this is going to take a lot of practice. Simulator will really help, but once you're comfortable with day 10, that really opens up a window for all types of flying. You know, now you can start doing, you know, nice circles in front of you. You know, nose in really opens up a big window, and when you've completed this day, you can totally give yourself a pat on the back, because you've essentially mastered one of the hardest things beginners learn. You know, I'm not even going to get into inverted hovering and everything, because I don't even know yet. But once you're up to this level of flying, you can comfortably fly what we call just general flight or scale flight, and be really comfortable at it. You know, any orientation you see the bird, you're going to be comfortable. And another one to practice is get it pointed right at you. You know, if you're doing a pirouette here and you spin it towards you, you should feel pretty comfortable as soon as that nose is pointed towards you. And again, that can get you into pirouettes and just all kinds of fun stuff once you learn nose in. Really opens the door to more advanced flying. So with that, we don't want to kill our LiPo here, so we'll land the bird, and actually we'll land our nose in. How about that? Seeing that that's what today's all about. And that pretty much concludes today's lessons. I'm going to do a little short aerobatic demo here. The little bit of aerobatics I know, or what I call light sport flight, because that's basically what I'm comfortable with, and that will pretty much conclude all of our lesson plans. So thank you for watching.